Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Matt Modi here with OddsJam. In this video, giving you my favorite DFS plays for today. So I end up having a 5-pick flex on PrizePicks for this video. So going to give you the 5 plays and then talk about the PrizePicks strategy as well. So I can just get right into it. The first play, and this is going to be in NHL one, a hockey play. Matthew Barzal over 0.5 points. So basically we'll have one or more points. That is the play. So when it comes to PrizePicks, the strategy is wildly different than with sports betting, right? When you're finding player props on PrizePicks, and this is going to sound obvious, but you're literally looking for player props that are likely to hit, that have a win percentage of just below, roughly 55% and higher, like 54.5% and higher. The reason why is all because of the payout structure and how PrizePicks works. So PrizePicks is essentially like a player prop parlay. I'm assuming everybody who's watching this is aware of how PrizePicks works, but the gist of it is every single number of legs, regardless of the plays themselves, has the same exact payout. So for a 2-leg entry on PrizePicks, you're always going to double your money if both of those plays hit. Doesn't matter what plays you add, always going to double your money. If you add a 3-leg parlay on PrizePicks, I think that 5x's your money. A 4-leg one, 9x's your money, and then the 3, 4, 5, 6 pick flex is a little bit different. But regardless, the most important thing to understand is that it doesn't matter what individual plays you add themselves, right? The payout is going to be the same no matter what plays you add. So this Matthew Barzal play. So the way that the math works for a 5-pick flex on PrizePicks, it has the implied odds of roughly minus 119 per individual leg. So if you were to take the payout of a PrizePicks one and then back out the implied odds for each individual leg of the 5, it averages out to about minus 119. Now, I will say I go through the math of a 5-6 pick flex along with pretty much everything else that you could imagine with PrizePicks in a previous video on the OddsJam YouTube channel. So if you are curious about how the math works, I would recommend checking that out. But PrizePicks 5-pick flex, all you need to know, implied odds of minus 119 per individual leg. So the strategy with PrizePicks basically is if you are able to find a player prop that has an implied win percentage above minus 119, that would be a profitable player prop to add. And that's exactly what the OddsJam positive expected value page does. It pulls odds from the historically sharpest sportsbooks in the world, removes the VIG using a weighted average, and kind of spits out these odds that you see here. So anywhere in which you see like a column under no VIG odds, you can view that as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. So in this case, the play has the true line of about minus 120.8, basically minus 121. So if you're curious about the win percentage of the individual bet you are placing, just need to click this calculator here and it pulls up the win percentage. So in this case, 54.71%. Now, if you're asking about like where do these percentages come from, all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So this minus 120.8, you could just convert those odds into a win percentage and it's at 54.71%. So essentially this play, Matthew Barzal has a 54.71% chance of going over 0.5 points. Because we are getting better implied odds than the minus 119, that is a profitable player prop. That is my first leg. Next up, another NHL one. We're looking at Roman Josie to go over 3.5 shots on goal. So the implied odds that OddsJam calculates, the no VIG line, the true line, whatever you want to call it, has this at about almost exactly minus 120.5. And again, we know the implied odds of a 5-pick flex is minus 119. And then what you want to do is if you want to look at the odds of the individual sports books that actually price plays individually, right? FanDuel, DraftKings, they have odds assigned for each play individually. So you can let the sportsbooks tell you what plays they think are likely, right? I mean, just look at this play here. We see odds from Pinnacle up at minus 147. And then we see like FanDuel at minus 144, DraftKings at minus 140. All these sportsbooks are heavily favoring Roman Josi to go over 3.5 shots on goal. So they're making it more expensive to buy. Because we are using PrizePicks, we are not paying any extra juice for it, right? Like PrizePicks gives us the option of taking the over or the under for this play. And if you look at how these sportsbooks price it, clearly the over is the better play, right? Like every single sportsbook is telling you how likely it is that he goes over this play. So they're charging more for it. We are not getting any extra juice charged to us by using PrizePicks. And that's exactly the strategy and why, and how using the OddsJam positive EV page, how it works and why it's so profitable. The win percentage for this one, 54.65%. So the break-even percent is somewhere around 54.5, a little bit below that. So we're obviously well above that. So our second play, Roman Josi over 3.5 shots on goal. Next up, we are back. We are in the NBA, not back. We are in the NBA. The Knicks versus Magic game with Wendell Carter to go over 8.5 rebounds. Implied odds, no big line on this of about minus 120, just above that. Looking at the sports books, we can see that they all favor the over pretty heavily, ranging from minus 150 with the closest being minus 130. And then you want to look at win percentage. We're still above that 54.5% break-even line at 54.58. So that's why this play is profitable. That's why it's good to add on PrizePicks. That is play number 3. Wendell Carter over 8.5 rebounds. Play number 4. Now we are back in the NHL. Nikita Kucherov under 3.5 shots on goal. The implied odds, the OddsJam perfect line, the true line on this one is at a little above minus 119.5. Round up to minus 120 if you want. Looking at the sports books, we have one book that is close, the Bet Rivers line at minus 121. And then look at every other sports book in the minus 140s, right? Like you can, this PrizePicks one you can ignore because this is giving you the odds for a 2-pick play. 5 picks, you're getting significantly better implied odds, and that's just based on the payout. But every other sportsbook that prices it is in the minus 140s, up to minus 143. Win percentage just below the 54.5 mark, still above the break-even point. This is play number 4. It's a really good one. And the 5th and final one, back in the NBA, Desmond Bane over 2.5 made 3-pointers. Looking at the sports books, we see odds range from minus 130 up to looks like minus 146. Implied odds just above the break-even point of minus 119. Win percentage of 54.38%. So like 54.35 is basically the win percentage number that you need to get above, which is where we are with all 5 of these plays, including this Desmond Bane one, as my 5th and final pick for this video. So 5 for you guys to lock in, 5 PrizePicks plays. If you're tailing these 5, comment and let me know. We'll hopefully get these to cash. But that's all I got for you guys. So appreciate everybody watching and have a good one.